no more room in hell. The dead will listen to Bloodfest, the podcast.
Hello, welcome to Bloodfest the podcast. I'm your host Nate. Actually, I'm not. Where the fuck is Nate?
I don't know. He's staring at me very judgingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died, didn't
So the word,
R.I.P.
the word is, we talked shit on Doug Jones and his handlers chasing him off at Crypticon, and apparently the handlers got a hold of Nate and killed him. Rest in peace.
he? Yeah, they were
It
pretty
seems
pissed.
severe, but you know.
So somehow I'm roped into doing this.
Don't matter. We can just talk whatever we want to talk about. Which I think we are going to be talking about stuck horror, pretty much. Is what we decided upon tonight.
Which is fitting because we're all stuck here because Nate
Yeah,
pulled out at the last second. It's all a theme.
yeah, exactly. So, what are your guys' favorite stuck horror movies? And for anybody at home who doesn't know what stuck horror is, we're talking about things like where some people are stuck in a situation, usually a deadly one that they can't get out of, and there's some threat, the cold or ghosts or animals, wolves, stuff like that. Uh, so it's not necessarily always horror, but it's kind of horror adjacent sometimes, most of the time. Um, I mean, I'll start with one of my all-time favorite is Frozen. I can't remember what year
Yeah,
that's from. 2007, maybe.
early
Uh,
2000s.
yeah. So Frozen was about a group of people. It was two guys and one of them's a girlfriend. Um, was that Amy Smart? Was she the girlfriend? I don't freaking remember.
Oh god, I can't
It's
remember. It's
been it's
been
been a
so.
while. I don't. I think it was Amy Smart, but I don't remember.
I
Um,
think so.
but basically they go up to this ski resort, and from what I remember, they decided to go out skiing, but it was kind of late, and the dude was going to shut it down for the weekend, and they're like, oh, please let us go. We just go one more time, I think, and he was like, no, I can't. We're getting ready to shut this down. Nobody else can be on here, and the girl talked him into it. So he went ahead and let them go up the mountain again in the ski lift, and then I think he had to go to the bathroom or something, and so somebody filled in for him, and they ended up staying until they shut it down. He didn't know that there were any more people up on the mountain, so he basically shut it down. So they stopped, and then slowly all the lights started shutting off, um, and essentially they were stuck up there for a whole weekend in a ski lift. Um, they couldn't really jump down because it was way too far, um, which I don't want to spoil too much if anybody hasn't seen it. But there are wolves involved. That was another reason they wouldn't get down, and they try a few things, um, and one of them may or may not make it out at the end. Um, but yeah, it was a good one. That's definitely one of my favorites. Um, what about you guys? What's one of your favorites?
Frozen is up there. It's one of those. It's such a simple concept, and it's something that I guess could really happen where you could get stuck on a ski lift. Maybe not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily because the worker left for the weekend, but malfunction or something like that. Uh, Recently, at your suggestion, or you watched it, Quicksand
Oh
was
yeah.
a that was a really good one, and another one. It's not really horror, but Phone Booth with Colin Farrell. I think that Whitaker guy, he's in it.
Hmm.
Forrest Whitaker, yeah.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. Basically, Colin Farrell plays an assistant or something. I don't know. He gets stuck in a phone booth pretty much at gunpoint, and it's a really good one.
Yeah, I don't. I think I'm trying to remember. I've seen it a couple times, and it's more like a thriller than a horror. But
Yeah,
it's still
Yeah.
he's stuck there. Kiefer Sutherland, he's
Sutherland.
the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
So from
bad
what I
guy
remember, he's like got him in his sights from
with the
with a
sniper.
sniper, but they don't know where, and the cops don't know this for quite a long time, because he's threatening Colin Farrell's character to that he's going to like tell his wife that he's cheating on her, some other stuff like that, if he doesn't tell her himself. Yeah, it's kind of it's. I
Yeah,
would say it's probably similar.
it's a really good one. So, but Frozen was just such a simple concept, but it was so well done.
Yeah. What do you think, Josh? What are your
Yeah,
favorite?
Frozen was really really good. Recently Fall, again not
Oh
horror,
yeah,
but
Oh yeah, Fall was a
that was
great one.
kind of in the same vein of just a couple of people up too high, can't do anything about it. But yeah, that one just it took so many twists and turns. I mean, just had me guessing the whole time. So really appreciated that one.
I
yeah,
really like Fall because that is one movie that just physically made me feel uneasy. Just the whole height thing.
Hmm.
Like, could
yeah,
you imagine just being on top of a tower and just stuck up there?
yeah. I wouldn't even. There's no way I would even do it in the first place.
Yeah,
And
I
nobody
wouldn't.
could
Yeah.
talk me into doing that. But yeah, yeah, it was a really good one. And they're making a sequel, which I'm not sure how that's going to work. It could just be another story of some other people stuck somewhere high or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the same two girls. Well, I guess. Well, I ain't going to spoil it, but
Whoops.
but whoops, yeah. But yeah, that was a good recent one for sure. There's tons of them. I know we were throwing some out in chat earlier today. Um, one that I didn't mention that's kind of a stuck horror in a way. It's called Dead End. Um, shoot, I should have pulled up. Let me pull up. I'm sorry, my keyboard's really loud. Um, so the Dead End I'm talking about is from 2003, and it's got Lynn Shay in it. Um, it's got Ray Wise. So Ray and Lynn Shay, they are a married couple, and they are on their way to his in-laws. And he decided it's on Christmas Eve, and he's decided to take a shortcut uh, instead of staying on the interstate or whatever to get there. He turns off on this old like dirt road or something. It's not really dirt; it's so snowy, like they're traveling through snow, and they end up like they just keep going and going. They're like, "What?" It's like never ends. They're like, "What's going on here?" Um, and that's why it's called dead end, is because the road just seems to go on like forever. It never actually goes anywhere, and they're kind of stuck. Like they even at one point, I think, turn around and go back, and they can't ever get back to the interstate. And then all this stuff just starts happening, just kind of supernatural type things. They got their kids with them, an older son and daughter, who are constantly bickering back and forth. But that one's kind of the same in the same vein as because they're completely stuck on this road. They never like get out of it. Um, that's really a really good one. Have you guys seen that one?
I have not seen that one.
I never even heard of it, but I love both of them actors. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's got to be at
Lynn
least good.
Lynn Shay is hilarious because she is like getting drunk or going. I think she's drinking, and then also she's like a little nutty. So there's a lot of comedic relief in there from her. Um, yeah, it's definitely a good one. And then another similar one that they actually just announced. I think Indicator is releasing a Blu-ray of in November. It's Wind Chill from 2007. Um, this one is the first movie I've seen Emily Blunt in. So Emily Blunt and this Ashton Holmes guy, basically she needs to get home for Thanksgiving, I think it was. It just says for the holidays, but she needs a ride, and he obliges. And again, it's kind of the same thing. They're going off the beaten path, and there's a lot of snow, and I think his car breaks down. And so they're basically stuck in this car with nowhere, there's nothing around, no gas stations, no other people, and so they're just in there like kind of freezing to death. Um, I'm definitely buying the Blu-ray. That movie is really freaking good. I've watched it 3 or 4 times.
What's it called?
Wind Chill from 2007.
God, I know it sounds familiar.
It is so good. Like it's definitely one I've watched every year the past few years. Um,
Yeah, I
oh
really
yeah,
like that one. That one's good.
yeah, I
I
didn't
may have
remember
that
all these
on
people in it.
DVD.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Or the runes is kind of the same thing. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah, been a
Um,
long time, but yeah, it was good.
yeah, so that one was some group of kids are on vacation in Mexico, I believe it was, and they want to go off to this like old pyramid type, building, some old ruins, and they're basically, if I remember right, they're like told not to go, uh, but they go ahead and just go up there anyway. And basically, there's something wrong with like the vegetation. It's kind of like alive, and it kind of traps them. Because the villagers around the area, once they're up there, that they see them as like infected or something, and they're like, you can't come back down, so they make them stay like at gunpoint. Um, yeah, it's a really good one. That one's got Sean Ashmore in it, which I really like. Sean Ashmore, I believe, was in Frozen,
Yeah,
or at
yeah,
least
he's
it was either him or yeah, it was him, because he's got a brother too. They look almost identical. Um, and then Jenna Malone, she's been in a ton of stuff. But
yeah,
yeah,
I like
like
her.
yeah, like like Joey said, it's stuck horror is good. I think because it's always pretty realistic. It's always things that could actually happen to you in real life. Um, I mean, we've heard of stories on the news of like people getting stuck on roller coasters for hours, even upside down,
Hmm.
um, which would be terrifying. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I think it just has that psychological effect as you're watching it. You're kind of just thinking, this would suck. What would I do?
Yeah, yeah. I watched one recently called Out of Order, and I actually went ahead and ordered it from Vinegar Syndrome after giving it a watch. I think it was it's either a French or like a German film, but it had an English dub. But it's about a group of people that get caught in an elevator, and then just trying to make their way out. And there's some other, like other situations that come up, like one guy and this gal, his wife, aren't getting along very well. They're kind of on the verge of divorce, and there's another younger guy that's stuck on the elevator, and they kind of take a liking to each other. So there's some tensions there with that. Um, and it also kind of reminded me of that movie. Was that an M Night Shyamalan? I can't say his name. You know what I'm talking about. M
Hmm.
Night.
Slummin' on.
Yeah. Um, it was called The Devil, where they were
Yeah,
stuck in an elevator. That was a pretty good one too, because that was kind of the same thing. There was some tension going on between the people, and they didn't know who was. Somebody was bad, obviously, in there, because the lights would go out, and then somebody would die, and then when the lights came back on, there'd be somebody dead in the corner or whatever. So they're trying to figure out, who's doing it. And that one had some supernatural element to it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna mute myself for a moment because my dog is freaking out, and you guys can chat.
I
yeah.
also
I
forgot
blind
to.
about. Oh, sorry. Maybe
I was
that's
just
why
gonna.
Nate's here.
I was just gonna say it's worth mentioning. Forgot to mention that Lydia is actually not with us because she is at a paranormal circus, whatever the hell a paranormal circus is.
Didn't they
But
have a season of American Horror Story like that?
maybe.
Yeah, Freak Show, which that was probably I haven't watched all of them, but I did watch that one, and it's very good. Um, yeah, it's kind of looks like a. My wife and I were looking at it. I think Friday night. It kind of looks like a I can't say anything today, man. My brain is just I don't know. Cirque Delay or whatever. You know what I'm
Circus
talking
Oh
about?
delay.
yeah,
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 that thing.
whatever.
It looks like it's like that, but it's just horror centric. They're it's dark and gritty, and they're dressed up, like scary and stuff like that. That's kind of what it looked like to me. I'm sure she's having a lot of fun. That would be pretty cool to go.
Yeah, that'd be cool to go to.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't like traveling very much, so I feel like I've traveled a lot this this year, just between like going to Crypticon, which was fun. I'm glad we went to that. And the Monster Palooza in California. I wasn't really expecting that. Um, then gone to Cleveland for work, and yeah, I just I'm a homebody, so it's unusual for me to travel that often in one year. Um, yeah, what were you gonna say, Josh? You had anything else?
Uh, shit, I forgot which movie we were talking about.
Yeah, so the
Um,
last one we were talking about, what,
oh
wind
yeah,
or
Out of
the
Order
runes?
and
Oh yeah,
um
yeah,
and Devil. Yeah, I had blind bought Out of Order. It should be coming with my next shipment. From Vinegar Syndrome. Just because I read it and it kind of sounded like Devil, so I was
yeah.
like, well then, okay. That's and you saying that it's dubbed is gonna make me a little bit happier because I guess I'm tired of reading.
Yeah, I am too, man. I don't know what it is. It's like, but then sometimes it just takes me a while to want to sit down and watch a movie that I have to read. But
Mm-hmm.
then a lot of time it depends. Like if it's, I think what I found is like Gialli films, if they don't have in English dub, those are kind of slow anyway. So I think I get really bored pretty easily and I kind of start drifting off. But if it's like something more exciting, shit, I watched. There's a couple TerraVision ones I watched recently. Like the last package I got from TerraVision, I know Cube was one of them. So Cube was the Japanese remake, which I think I talked a little bit about already. But it was like exciting from the start and all the way through. So like I was really, it was really easy to follow, and they weren't talking really fast. There was a lot more going on besides just dialogue. And then I think the other one was Welcome to Hell. If I remember right, that one was like a Mexican horror film about a girl who was like found an abusive boyfriend. He was a like a lead singer for a band, and turned out they were all like devil worshippers. Um, so that one was just really gripping. I really liked that a lot. So I was fine with it not being dubbed, but yeah, I'm in the same camp at the moment. Um, I would just rather have a dub, even if it's terrible. I don't care if it sounds terrible. I'd rather just be able to kind of sit back and listen to the movie and take all the visuals in. Um, it kind
Yeah,
of seems like when
that's
you got to sit there and read it, you miss out on some of the stuff going on. If the
Mm-hmm.
dialogue is really fast, then you're just spending all your time reading.
that's
The
kind of my
worst one that I
problem
had,
with it.
yeah,
Just sitting there trying to read and keep up. Screw that.
I got a box set the other day of in
Porn.
the Line of Duty. No, it's a bunch of I think it's Hong Kong films. They're like um, got Michelle Yeoh in a couple of them. I put one in. It was a Royal Warriors. Jesus, I can't talk either. But the worst part is because my TV doesn't get up very loud, so I use the subtitles on like
Mm.
everything. So I put the dub on and the subtitles, and they were completely different. Like
Oh yeah.
because I guess maybe they were done at different times or something, but like they'd say something in English of like, "Hey, who's that over there?" And then the line underneath they would say like, "I just blew up a building," and it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
You just can't win.
I've ran into the same thing too. Usually, I think the ones I've usually ran into were like streaming things. Um, but yeah, I've definitely seen that too.
Speaking of movies with English dubs, you watched what was that? Attack of the Killer Bears.
Yeah, yeah. There was
That
a where did that? It was it Taiwanese? I don't know what
Yeah, it's like a
country it is, but
Taiwanese, and we saw it. My friend Jared and I, we were at Walmart, and I talked him into getting it, thinking it'd just be a really dumb movie that we could just laugh at, and
yeah,
turns out it was a really good movie. The only complaint I would have is the dub was just very bland. Like the whole dialogue, there's no emotions in them.
yeah. They were phoning it in. You could tell they were just reading lines. I just
Yeah,
but I kind of want a little bit more.
but
you know.
other than that, though, it turned out to be a really good movie. We both thoroughly enjoyed it.
So
Yeah,
it's the
I
Night of the Killer Bears.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
looks
because
cool. The trailer looks good.
yeah, I thought it was just we saw it at Walmart. I had no clue what it was. We thought it was going to be a really stupid movie that would just be laughing at it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually a really good movie. I really hope there's a Blu-ray release of it sometime.
It's a little strange looking, but it looks oddly entertaining. Uh, The original title of this movie is The World of Killing People. That's
Yeah,
strange.
that makes sense.
And it's 2 hours long. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was a really long movie.
Oh,
But
I didn't feel like it was that long.
yeah, I was getting ready to say it's such a good movie, and you just get into it that it really just doesn't even seem like it. But yeah, it was a really surprisingly a really good movie.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Jennifer saw it at Walmart in a clearance bin and was like, "I'm gonna get this because it looks stupid." And then we saw it, and then you're like, "Yeah, we saw this already." I was like, "This is really really cool."
Yeah.
Walmart has a lot of weird DVD titles like that. Sometimes I wish I was into collecting DVDs and I was fine with it, but I'm just not. But because there's so many things that you can find for cheap on DVD, and Walmart always has a bunch of weird, fun-looking
Yeah.
things.
Dinosaur Hotel was one of
Yeah,
them.
although most of
Which,
them are probably shit. So
yeah, I was gonna say we started watching that one. It was just terrible. It was, yeah, horrible.
I still try them all though because there's always that nugget in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
Those shitty movies.
See, and you guys give me shit for downloading shitty movies. It's because if you don't download them, then you'll
yeah,
never know.
I would say just in the last, I mean,
Or
really probably
acquire.
since I started collecting movies, I think that's once I went through and got most of the things that I knew that I loved, and then I started just blind buying stuff, and then we started watching weird shit like Poultrygeist. Like I'd never heard of it, and then I watched it. And I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
Poultrygeist is really fun. Thanksgiving, really really
yeah,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Gobble
It
gobble, motherfucker.
fun.
well,
I love that movie.
it is
So good.
hilarious. It is hilarious. I'll give you that.
It's,
And I've now seen it like twice thanks to you. So
the turkey takes rips off the face of the sheriff, and he's wearing it, and the daughter thinks it's really her dad.
Doesn't
yeah,
modify his voice or anything.
that was the best
It's,
part.
it's so stupid. Or he goes to drink his coffee, and his wife took a shit in it. Oh god. We'll definitely have to do that. Do another episode on that in Poultrygeist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still need to see Poltergeist. We haven't discussed that on here. I mean,
Yeah,
we talked
we
about it, but
need to
like,
do. We did Thanksgiving. We definitely do need to do Poultrygeist.
yeah. It sounds so stupid, and it is stupid, but it's just so
It's
much fun.
yeah.
It's because of Trauma. I mean, Trauma puts out a lot of crap like that that looks and sounds like shit, but it's amazing when you watch it.
It's
yeah,
so hilarious. It's definitely worth it.
That Toxic Avenger set's coming out pretty soon. I can't wait to grab that. I still haven't pre-ordered it because I've been trying to take a little hiatus and not buy too much stuff, just because I spent so much at the beginning of the month on like the Vinegar and Severin sales. So I've been trying to not really pre-order anything else for the time being. And in fact, I've decided it's going to be tough, but I'm going to not pre-order all those Scream Factory things like stuff. It's going to drive me nuts, but like Night of the Comet, um,
That's a good
and then
movie.
yeah,
hmm
and Weird Science, Last House on the Left, 2009, My Bloody Valentine. Like I was gonna buy all of those when they came out, but I'm gonna try not to because all that stuff goes on sale. It's not like those things sell out. So it just makes more sense to focus on things that that only have a print run of 1,000 or 1,500 or something, and try and get those things that I really want first, and then focus on the stuff that's going to be there on a sale later.
hmm
And also, like, I don't think I care that much about slip covers unless they're Vinegar Syndrome slip covers or like TerraVision, because I know it sounds stupid, but um, they look cooler. I mean, they actually have like original artwork on them and stuff, or at least alternate artwork. A lot of the Scream Factory stuff, or just other company slip covers, they're like identical to the artwork that's on the Blu-ray or the 4K.
Yeah, there's
Um,
nothing different about it.
yeah, and then plus they're thin and stuff, but like Vinegar Syndrome and TerraVision both they have like really thick ones, and they feel like they're I don't know higher quality, I guess. So I honestly don't give two shits anymore if I don't get a Scream Factory slipcover. Um,
From them, I just
but
assume you're not gonna get one, and then if you
I
do,
mean
surprise. Kind of like Amazon.
that is true. Yeah, I mean you don't always get them with Scream Factory stuff. Like the Happy Death Day movies. When they released those, they didn't come with slips. I know there's been several other ones that I bought just over the past year that didn't have any. So yeah, it's hard to tell. And again, I don't Scream Factory. I don't know. They kind of pissed me off over the past year. Like now they're re-releasing all the shit that I just bought. I started collecting, and I mean, it's not technically their fault. Like I started collecting late, like in 2020. So one of the first things I did was I went and bought all the Scream Factory stuff I wanted on Blu-ray.
Hmm.
And then now, starting in 2022, they're like, "Hey, we're going to re-release everything we've ever put out on 4K." Um, so it's kind of annoying. Um, but yeah, I just gotta realize I don't need to upgrade every single one. Like Motel Hell, for example, I don't really care to upgrade that one. I've got the Blu-ray steelbook of that, which was a 4K scan. So do I really need to pay $32 or whatever to?
Is a steelbook sexy?
Oh yeah, the steelbook is really nice. That's
I'll
the one
trade you
thing,
my 4K for the steelbook.
dude.
Because I got the
That's actually
4K.
that's kind of tempting, honestly, but I don't know. I'll think about it. Because yeah, the steelbook is very sexy, and
Tune in next
that
week. We'll see.
yeah,
We'll see if I
yeah,
have it in that television terror.
and it's got you got this. I mean, yeah, it's got the slip on it too. Yeah, your 4K has the slip cover too.
Yeah, it has a slip.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, there's a very good chance I might do that. But yeah, that's one thing
Good.
Screen Factory has done really well is they put out some killer steel books. Um, some of those were out of print when I started collecting. Um, I snagged Piranha like right before it went out of print because like shortly after I bought it, I was seeing it all over the place for like $50 used and stuff. So I actually copped it at Walmart right before it went out of print, and then what Night of the Demons, which I guarantee you there's going to be a 4K of that one very soon.
Hmm.
I'm sure within the
Probably.
next 6 months or something, that's going to be one of them they announce because it had a 4K scan on Steelbook, and I bought it for I don't remember, it was $40 or something off of eBay new because it had been out of print for a while. But yeah, they put out some good Steelbooks, but I hate the prices on them have risen quite a bit because they didn't used to be $32 for just the 4K with the sled.
Yeah.
Um, and then if you want like when Creep Show, like I wasn't gonna buy that one, but when I was at Best Buy when Joey and I were there, I was picking up Jaws 2 on 4K on the 4th, and happened to see Creep Show there, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Um, I think that's when I bought it. I don't remember now.
Yeah,
Maybe it was
it
the
was.
yeah, was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think I bought that, and then yeah, and then I picked up a couple of those cheap ones too.
I wasn't
I can't.
planning on buying anything, and then I walked out with like 4 movies.
Yeah, well, they had some good
Yeah.
stuff. They had like
They had
Happy
some good,
Gilmore
yeah, they had
for
some
like
good
$6
prices.
or something, and Empire Records was like $4.
Yeah, I
So
got that
yeah,
one.
so I picked those up.
I mean, at my Best Buy, not yours.
Yeah, but, yeah, I did end up pre-ordering the kids collector's edition from Umbrella. That one comes out some point next month. Um, and then also Impulse 4K. That's God, I don't know where my brain is at, dude. But I cannot remember anybody's name today. The Star Trek dude, the main Star Trek dude.
George or William Shatner.
Yes, William Shatner. So he plays like a killer in this movie. It's from the '70s, I
Huh.
think. Uh, it's really good. So I pre-ordered it from Grindhouse Releasing. Um,
Interesting.
and I ended up watching that. My best friend's exorcism you'd mentioned was good.
That was a good one. I thoroughly
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
I like that one. It was goofy.
It was
yeah,
goofy, but it was fun. He's all excited about having a demon. That was
yeah,
freaking hilarious.
yeah. And It had a lot of good like '80s music and just
Yeah, I
throwback to the '80s
I
feel.
love that '80s theme to it. That was really well done.
Yeah, I watched Murder Size. I backed that one. Again, I can't fucking remember any names of anything tonight. But that platform where you can back shit, Indiegogo, um, I backed it on there, so I got a download link for it, and I watched it. It was actually surprisingly very good. I liked it a lot. It had kind of an '80s vibe to it. Um, it's definitely a lower budget indie film about some girls making like uh, they're like in a gym or something, and they're all the whole time they're like dressed up in like these nice looking workout uh, attire, and they're some of the guys are like trying to make like a horror film with them, and then stuff actually starts happening to them. It's pretty entertaining.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to try that one. That I've been reading about it, and it looks really good. I mean, as good as it can be.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty worried after. So my main reason for watching it, one to see is because that Jessica Flux chick was in it, and I just thought she was, a little attractive. So I checked out that Debbie Does Demons. I bought that from Vinegar Syndrome, and then I'd also bought that Cannibal Hookers
Hmm.
from Facebook Marketplace, and they were so bad. They were like some of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like worse than that stupid. What was that movie you were wanting to buy earlier? The Kill Her Goats
Killer
VHS.
Goats.
Yeah, that movie is so terrible.
I'd rather watch an actual Killer Goats movie.
Yeah, I think I'd rather watch that than Debbie Does Demons and Cannibal, because those movies were. I can't remember who was it. Some Donald Farmer. That's who it was. So Donald Farmer made those films. So I now know to stay away from any Donald Farmer movies ever, because it like I don't know. It's like somebody made. It's like they made it with an I don't know, like an iPhone 10 or something, and which whatever, people made some good movies with iPhones and stuff. It's not like you can't do it, but it was like so shaky, and it didn't look like somebody was shaking their phone. It looked like there was something wrong with the video. Like you just be watching it and it would just start jittering really bad. And I'm like, why did they put that on Blu-ray? Like, why did they not fix that? It like both of the movies had that problem, and it like almost made me sick watching it. I was like, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, it was Asteroid City. I don't know if you guys are big Wes Anderson fans. I'm not really,
I
um,
am. I
but
got most of them.
I did watch Asteroid City. It was it was okay. It was entertaining. Like most of his films, is filled with a lot of good actors. Um, so I mean, it was worth a watch. I was fine with it. I just didn't love it. I don't quite understand his um, his filmmaking. There was some movie with I'm sure you've probably seen it or own it. The one with the hotel.
Oh yeah, the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, I did not understand it. I dropped out like maybe an hour into it. I couldn't do it.
That one was a little more confusing. My favorite's Moonrise Kingdom. That one was really really good. It's about like a Boy Scout and a I don't girl with binoculars. I don't know. It's been a while, but
Mm.
it's a lot of things happen like they do in Wes Anderson movies. But the cast was just great, and then yeah, I mean that's through all of his movies. It's like that. So, but the stories aren't always that great.
Yeah, I guess I just looking at his list of films, I really haven't watched very many of them. So Asteroid City might be the only one that I've actually watched all the way through. I'm kind of looking through. Oh, Bottle Rocket. I guess I did watch that years ago. Um, I don't remember liking it all that much.
It
Uh,
wasn't that great. I mean, and I'm not really a big fan of the Wilson brothers, so
oh
it
yeah.
didn't do anything for me.
Um, I tried watching Rushmore because tons of people seem to love that movie, and I did not like it. Um, that's the only other one besides at least in the when I Google the best Wes Anderson films. I guess that's really all I've seen of his. What else? I watched a weird movie called Triloquist. It's from 2008. It's basically about a ventriloquist guy and his sister. Um, they essentially are sent to live in a foster home after something bad happens to their mom, who is a ventriloquist. And then, so he basically, the boy basically kind of takes over. And the whole film, he doesn't talk. He talks to this creepy looking dummy. Um, and it's they basically just go off and kind of it's kind of like an on the road film. So they're just I don't remember where exactly they're going, but they kind of like leave their foster home and they're just kind of getting away from it, um, and they run into all sorts of trouble. It was really good. It was the boy's performance was very cringy. He was just making weird ass faces the whole movie and not talking, and he was just doing the ventriloquist thing. So that was like hard to watch, but um, the girl in it was like very attractive, so that made it a lot easier to watch. Um, but it was really entertaining, so I did enjoy that. And then I watched Miracle Beach, so that was one that our buddy Dean Cameron was in, that we interviewed at
That was a
Cryptic.
really good movie.
That was a real, and I forgot. I know I've watched it when I was a kid. I just it'd been so long. Um,
Yeah, because it used to be all over TV back in the early 90s.
yeah, and what's sad is Kino had put that Blu-ray out at some point, and now it's out of print, so it's expensive to buy.
Oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
I know because I kind of want to get it now. Um, but yeah, that had a good cast of people in it. That Amy Dolan's. I had actually just recently watched Witchboard 2, which had really bad ratings, but I thought it was pretty entertaining. Um, so I actually watched those back to back. Um, and then, but yeah, there's a lot of good people in it. 'Cause they had Martin Mull in it, Pat Morita was in it a lot, um, and then Alexis Arquette, pre-transition. Um, he was really good and entertaining. And that Felicity Waterman, I don't know that I recognize her from anything, but she was, I guess she was in Die Harder and Side Out. So
Yeah,
those were
I
fun.
haven't seen that movie since God, I was probably in my teens.
I did try watching Rockula because I hadn't heard of that one. So that was another one of Dean Cameron's films, and it was really bad. I did not like it at all. It also it was it's like a comedy horror musical.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so it wasn't the musical part wasn't like the prominent part. So there wasn't a ton of like just breakout songs or anything like that. It was just it was very limited of that in the film, but it wasn't I don't know I didn't like it. It had Susan Tyrrell in it. She's strange. Um, she was in Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I think that's the only movie that I've seen her in that I really enjoyed. Um, have you guys seen that?
Uh-uh.
Uh-uh.
No, it's a weird one.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
But yeah, Susan, she's in that. She's the mom of this boy in that movie that has a lot of problems, and she's nutty as hell. But she's nutty in real life. There's a interview with her on that disc, and she starts talking about I don't know. She's like they ask a question or something, and she starts talking, and then she ends up talking about something completely different, and then she says something like that blonde girl was just mad that she didn't get that black dick, and we're like, it's like what? Like what is she talking about? Like she's weird. Uh, but anyway, she's in
Wow.
Rockula, and I don't like her very much because she's fucking nutty.
And we lost Josh.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Oh,
there was a scene like towards the end of the movie, I think, where a black dude was chasing down the, her son's girlfriend or something like that, and that's what she was talking about, I think. But like her saying that was just out of left field. I'm like, what?
time
Why
and
did she say
place.
that? Yeah, it just made no sense.
Too bad we don't have a clip of that.
Yeah, roll
Then
that
Josh would
beautiful.
really die.
Yeah.
Roll the clip.
Roll it.
uh,
Ugh.
And then there were some other movies announced recently from, I can't remember who was putting them out. Vile was one of them. I know we were talking about the other day. Nate said he really liked that one from 2012, and I watched it, and it was, I don't, wasn't very good. I would probably tend to agree with the 30% rotten rating. Um, it was like people. It was kind of like Saw, but it didn't look very good. Like it was definitely filmed with a shitty camera or something. It didn't look very good. Um, and essentially, there's these people that are trapped in this building. I think there's like 6 of them, and they've got this device that they've got to fill with blood by a certain time, or they'll be uh, trapped in there forever.
Mm-hmm.
Cool premise, but I don't know. I didn't care for it that much.
I went out Friday, went to a lot of different antique stores, and really the only thing new I've gotten, which I collect VHS movies, but they actually had this. It's the original Halloween on VHS, and I found it and $10. I thought that was pretty sweet. And then Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, which is amazingly is still in the original package.
Hmm.
And whoever had these must keep their stuff really nice because they have that plastic protective cases on them like you have.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, even the Halloween it has a plastic protective case. So whoever had these kept them in really great condition.
That's good. So that means they were probably a collector too, then.
Yeah, like this box is just like the Halloween is just excellent condition.
Yeah, I wish. I don't have the room to collect. I don't. Well, I don't have a VHS player to begin with, but it would be. I mean, really, the thought of it's kind of it's silly because you can just watch a better quality version on Blu-ray. So it sounds stupid, but I also at the same time get it for nostalgia and just the look and feel
Yeah,
of the
the
movie
film
like when I
look.
first watched it. Um, and then also just the artwork and stuff. Because sometimes the artwork on the Blu-ray or the DVD is not as good as the original VHS artwork. Um, if I had the room to also collect VHS, I would definitely probably do the same thing. I did buy. I don't have it with me to show, but I also went to an antique shop with my wife, and mainly because we saw you going, and we're like, hey, we haven't been in a while, so let's go. I can't remember what it was I bought. It's
Dr. Jekyll and
yeah, it's
or
from something weird video.
Jekyll and Hyde adult
It's
version.
the adult version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I think is the name of the movie. Um, yeah, the adult version of Jekyll and Hyde, and it's from nine. I'd never heard of it. I just bought it because I'm sure this is not going to show up at all. Well, maybe,
Yeah, a little
um,
bit.
but yeah, just the artwork on it was really cool, and it's in one of those hard cases, and it's in mint condition. The tape itself is in mint condition, but it's not as old as I thought it was. It's from '96, which is still, I guess, pretty old.
Yeah,
Um,
still pretty old.
and but yeah, it just looked really cool, and I thought it was cool because I still buy. Vinegar Syndrome has AGFA releases as one of their partner labels, and they do stuff with Something Weird Video. So some of the releases are AGFA plus Something Weird. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll go ahead and pick it up just to throw on my shelf. So that's my first VHS purchase, um, probably
Yeah,
ever, because I don't think when I was a kid, mom and dad were buying VHS. I wasn't buying them. We were probably renting them with
yeah,
their money.
we definitely rented. Yeah, the shitty thing is if you want to get a VCR to actually play them, they're expensive.
Yeah,
They're like
this is
$200-$300 because there's just no demand for them.
yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody makes them anymore. Although a couple years ago, I got one of those Facebook ad. It was for not Indiegogo, but one of those like Kickstarter, there was some company who was trying to kickstart a Blu-ray slash VHS combo player,
That'd
and
be
then
cool.
I know, and then like maybe about a year ago, I was like, I would probably pick one of those up, but I don't remember what the hell it was called, and I can't find it anywhere, so I'm assuming maybe it didn't get kickstarted.
Yeah, probably not.
Which actually I'm surprised because I know there's a big set of collectors out there for VHS. There's collecting groups on Reddit and stuff. There's tons of people who still buy them.
Yeah, I picked up 9. I got Arachnophobia was another one, Silence of the Lamb, Apollo 13, and then there's some others that I got. E.T.
ET, yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I'd actually sit and watch them just because I don't even hardly watch the Blu-rays I buy. I try to, but it's hard to get through them. But yeah, if I threw VHS in the mix, I would never get anywhere.
Yeah, they're fun watching.
Yeah, especially on a projector setup like you use.
Yeah.
I'm sure it adds to the
Yeah, it
effect.
kind of has that drive-in feel. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's why I really enjoy Dark Force Entertainment releases, like those
Yeah, those
double drive features.
drive-ins.
Yeah, because like I love them to look all scuffed up and
Those are
Hmm.
really cool.
that I bought that Dandy was the last one I got from them, the single release, and it's got like it's definitely got scratches and stuff on the film all over, but it was a fun one. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, the only one I got was the Gates of Hell and Psycho from Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we all have that now.
that's the
yeah,
only one I ever bought.
yeah. They're I know they're getting ready to. So they've already got. Wait, did they already have a new one up, or no? They're getting ready to drop, I think, 2 new ones on their site here in the next week or two. And I'm going to pick up both of them. I can't even remember what they were, but um, there were definitely some obscure sleaze. One of them was a drive-in double feature. I know it had Rivals on it, some kind of a motorcycle game movie, and I can't remember what the other one was. And then they had a new 4K dropping soon. Yeah, Dark Force is a weird one. I swear it's only ran by like 2 people. Like I think it's just Dave who always does the Facebook live videos, and he's kind of an oddball, but seems like a nice dude.
Want to be
Uh,
wrestler?
yeah, he seems cool though. I mean,
Yeah, he seems cool.
he's definitely an oddball, but he seems cool. But I mean, who isn't an oddball?
We're all
Um,
odd.
but I think it's just like him and like 1 or 2 people or something that do all the work and get it shipped out and everything. So I think that's why their site's a little strange because it shuts down, every other week, sometimes for a couple weeks at a time. Um,
Probably just get caught up and orders
yeah,
out.
but I don't care. A lot of people hate it, but it's fine with me. It doesn't bother me at all. What else we got going on? Is there any other anything coming up that you guys are excited for?
I
Anything
did
in
Not
see.
Barbie.
Barbie?
I did see that the trailer dropped for the new Witchboard remake, which I actually have that.
I actually haven't watched it. I know I sent it to you, but I didn't watch it.
Oh, really?
I just sent you the article,
Here,
so I
let's
knew
go
that.
ahead and we'll roll the trailer here for
Okay.
people watching.
I need you to turn off your phones and unplug any televisions or radios. And focus on the pendulum. There are powerful forces at play. We must journey back. Back to she who carved this board, who spilled blood to stir its dark magic.
Just feels like bad juju to me.
You know so little, yet here you are. And I know so much.
So yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it does. Um, I
I
wasn't.
guess.
I know you're a bigger fan of the original than I am. I think.
Yeah, and actually, I followed the guy. The original was written and directed by a guy, Kevin Tenney, and I actually friends with him on Facebook, and he is involved with this remake, so he is still involved with it.
Kevin Tenney.
It's always kind of a
That's
good sign when that happens.
Yeah, he's one of the writers of it.
oh, he was the director of Night of the Demons. So that's
Yeah, he directed Night of the Demons, but yeah, I'm friends with him on Facebook, so which he did that Witch Trap also, or Witch Trap, or what was
uh,
that?
yeah, it's Witch Trap. Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
the Vinegar
Witch
Syndrome
Trap,
movie.
which I got that here a month or so ago.
Oh, shoot, I didn't know he did the Cellar too. That's one that I've almost bought multiple times on Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, he's done quite a bit.
Wait a minute, I think I've maybe I have seen this actually. Okay, yeah, I have seen it. I don't own it though, but I have seen it before. The Cellar. Hmm. Yeah, the Witchboard remake looks pretty good. Um, and then I guess the Exorcist, the new Exorcist movie, the trailer for it leaked somewhere, but I haven't really looked for it. I've seen people post it on TikTok. Um, I watched parts of it. It looked pretty creepy. Um, so I kind of have high hopes for it. It actually looked pretty decent.
Yeah,
But
I'm pretty excited for that.
I don't know that it really need to be remade or rebooted. But I have nothing against people doing that. There's like I think we talked about last time. There's been some
There's
good
been some
reboot.
good ones.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed the Friday the 13th reboot. I thought Jason was. Um, I loved how fast he moved. Like it just was frightening. I just remember that first group of campers he killed. Just how he just they're talking, and then suddenly you just like see him like kind of stomp in the frame like really fast at him.
Hmm.
Yeah,
He was just more menacing, I thought, in the reboot. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, the Barbie movie. My oldest daughter went and saw the Barbie movie and said it was way better than she thought it was going to be. That
I'm
she
sure
had
it's
like
gonna be. I I'll
yeah,
watch it eventually.
yeah, I'll definitely watch it when it comes to like streaming, for sure. I mean, especially because it has chick in it, which again I can't remember anybody's names tonight.
it'll be an
But
episode of the podcast.
right, Barbenheimer. You see all those jokes going around. My youngest actually, she was dragged to that movie, Oppenheimer, or
Hmm.
is that what it's called, Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer
I
or
don't know.
something.
Some it's like what about the guy who invented the nuclear bomb or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours long, but she actually said she enjoyed it, which that's interesting. I don't. I have a hard time sitting down watching a 3 hour movie,
yeah.
Yeah.
3 hours is a bit much.
but kind of like the Wes Anderson movies, there's a ton of good people in it. So I guess depends on how the acting and the story is and everything. Maybe it's keep me interested. Um, yeah, my Vinegar Syndrome stuff finally shipped. Um,
You bastard.
I don't get it. I don't know why everything seems to be shipping slower this year than it did last year. Because last year, normally my stuff would ship probably around the 10th of the month, and
Hmm.
then it would get here in like 2 or 3 days. And now it's like shipping towards the end of the month, and it takes like a week to get here. And in the meantime, I'm seeing other people post their stuff, like a week ahead of mine. So I know, who knows? Maybe they got a lot more subscribers this year or something.
Well, good. I mean, that
Yeah,
means they can
it
get
is
better
good.
movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a very stupid thing to be annoyed over. I guess uh, we'll get our movies. I'm sure I'll survive if I have to wait a couple weeks, but I am looking forward to it. I did get my TerraVision's new stuff this weekend. So yesterday I got quite a few things. I got the 3 new subscription movies from TerraVision, and then I got the the Sensual World of Emmanuel Severn box, um, and my wife and I actually sat down and started watching those yesterday. We've gone through 4 of them now. Um, she doesn't care for them too much, but she doesn't seem to mind them. But she's like they're all kind of the same, which she's not wrong.
Well, she doesn't
They're
get up. She doesn't hate them.
yeah. They're. I mean, one good thing about them is the actors are attractive, and then they're in really nice locations. Minus the last one, Emmanuel in America. They're mostly in America, so it's not really
Shit
not
location.
yeah shit location. But the other ones, like again, I can't remember anything tonight. But the one before it, I think one of them they were like in was it Africa or something? I can't remember. Bangkok. That was one of them. That was the last one we watched before America. But yeah, they're set in really like pretty locations, and they're kind of like love triangle type thing. And the second one was trash because it didn't have Laura Gimser in it. It had some other actress, and I assume that maybe people hated it, and so it had maybe it had lower ratings or something. So then they came out with Emmanuel in Bangkok, and then from there, Laura Gimser was in the next quite a few Black Emmanuel films. So yeah, I've been watching through those. And then the TerrorVision ones I got were Some Guy Who Kills People, which I've seen before. It's pretty
Yeah, I
good.
like that one. That's Kevin
Yeah,
something, right?
yeah, yeah. He was in like The Usual Suspects, I think. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. I'm pretty sure it was The Usual Suspects, maybe. And I've seen him. He's like one of those guys where I've seen him in like a ton of movies, but I can't remember his name.
Kevin
Kevin.
Corrigan.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I haven't seen that one in
Captives.
forever.
Um, then the other one was Captives, which I haven't heard of, which is like an SOV title. I think it's about some people that have like a home invasion type of thing going on. It looks interesting. And then the other one was Cannibal Campout, which looks like a lot of fun. Again, I haven't heard of it. Another shot on video film, which I'm learning that I enjoy shot on video films. I mean, a lot of the ones I've watched recently have been pretty entertaining. Um, there was one like about one of them that I got from TerrorVision. Also was like about killer snakes. I can't remember the title. It sounded stupid, but it was fun. It was a good watch. Uh, then I watched was it the Night Ripper or no Killing Spree was another shot on video TerrorVision release I watched. That was when they released when they were with Vinegar Syndrome as a partner. And it was about a dude just going nuts, thinking his girl's cheating on him. And that one was a lot of fun too. And then I think I mentioned Houseboat Horror was another one I got recently and really enjoyed it. So yeah, there's a ton of shot on video stuff out there that I think TerrorVision is really kind of taking the reins on a lot of the releases and finding them and throwing them out on Blu-ray. There's probably literally thousands of them out there that you probably never heard of that they're probably going to go through a big chunk of them and release, I imagine, over the next few years.
Well, I never heard of corn shucker, but I didn't pick it up.
Yeah, that one looked really bad. That one didn't even look good to me, but it was
That's what
selling
I
out like
think of when I
crazy.
think of shot on video.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
the hey stop stabbing me, that was shot on
I,
video, right? So
that was the first one I purchased, and I didn't even purchase it kind of I wouldn't say on purpose, but I purchased it as a part of a because the other like a bundle they had. I'm trying to remember what it was. A Mardi Gras Massacre, I think it was Mardi Gras Massacre, and then some like double feature, like sleazy double feature, and then there was Hey Stop Stabbing Me came with it, and it was like $5 more to buy that than to buy the other two maybe separate. I'm like, oh, let's get the bundle, maybe it'll be good, and it was freaking amazing. I loved it. It was hilarious. Like it was very the I remember the girlfriend who was like cheating on on him with his friend. They were just like cheating out in the open, and he was just like oblivious to it. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was freaking hilarious. And then the extras on it too were really really good. They had like a whole reunion, like 20-year reunion or something, and they went and they all discussed the making of the film when they were kids essentially. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad I bought that one because that's definitely getting a rewatch.
Yeah,
It's just fun. Like you said, it's like I can do shot on video if it's it doesn't have to be brilliantly acted, just not stupid.
right. Yeah, yeah. Like all those movies that you and I've mentioned they're way better than that shit that like Debbie Does Demons, and that's not a shot on video. That's shot on like an iPhone or something. But it was so bad. Like there was that and like the Killer Goats. Like definitely don't buy that, Joe. I don't know anybody who's listening. Do not buy that movie. It's so bad.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I didn't pull the trigger on it because I've heard so many bad things about it.
Yeah, I
Which
saw like
sucks
a
because I want to throw money at Kane Hodder all the time, but
yeah. Well, the
not so
problem
much
was is
this.
he wasn't even hardly in it. Like I assumed that he would be in it like most of the film, but he didn't
Yeah.
really come out until maybe like about 3/4 the way through. And like they talked about the practical chainsaw effects, like chainsaw sparks or something, and it was like you could tell it was like sparklers that they like taped onto the chainsaw or something. Like they just lit these sparklers around his chainsaw, and he was just like holding it in the in his living room or in their living room, and the camera was just like panning out, and you could just see the sparklers on his chainsaw. It just looked ridiculous. Um, I don't know. The whole thing was so bad. They definitely made a lot of money from advertising because they advertised the shit out of it.
Yeah, I
And
saw it everywhere.
they had good, had good artwork. Had Playboy Playmates as the actresses, and so they had a lot of hot chicks in it, and Kane Hodder, and then yeah, it just turned out to be a pile of crap. In fact, I think I bought the steelbook for like 35, $40 or something, and now I think you can buy it for like 15 or something. I saw it the other day on sale for like $15. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah, during the Amazon Prime Day sale, I saw that and I was like, no, it's not worth it.
Yeah, maybe it'll be worth some money if I just hang on to it and they finally sell all the shitty copies.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean the steelbook is really nice. I don't know if I have it. Let me see if I have it real quick.
Yeah, I almost pulled the trigger on it because of that steelbook. I mean, it looks awesome. And like inside, isn't it like cards or something? I mean, just
Yeah,
had like a package.
yeah. So there's the steelbook. And yeah, it looks amazing. You look at that and think, wow, this movie's going to be freaking incredible. Yeah, so they definitely spent a ton of money. And here's the disc artwork is amazing. I mean, this is beyond like what Shout Factory usually does on their
Yeah,
films, or Lionsgate disc artwork is usually just nothing, or Kino, or yeah, it's got this like holographic goat sticker, so that's
yeah,
very
that's awesome.
cool.
And it's all false advertising.
Yeah, like, and even when you look at these art cards, like these are all shots from the film, and they look, you look at it and you're like, yeah, that looks badass.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Kane Hodder and his goat. He's got like a flamethrower. Yeah, like the the blood and stuff looks real. Again, hot girl. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the rest of them are kind of crap, but yeah, there's a scene in there too where they're all taking showers, and like one of the girls has pasties on while she's in the shower. It's like you're a Playboy Playmate for one, so you're fine with being nude. Why were you not nude in the film, especially when you're in a shower? It makes no sense. And then that shower scene, like it had 2 or 3 girls like alternating taking showers, and that scene went on for like 15 minutes. Which like it's like that's what fine, have a hot girl in the shower. That's fine, but not 15 minutes is a little
Yeah.
long.
I like a good
Uh,
shower scene, but not like using conditioner and shit. I mean, they're shaving
right.
their legs. And,
Right. Yeah, it was weird. And there was just a lot of weird shots where like it was showing them taking a shower and then you'd hear scary music and it would show like the outside. And it was like you're supposed to see something outside, but there was nothing. Like it was just showing out their front door, but you saw nothing. You just saw like the trees, and there was nobody in the trees, like at least that you could see. It was weird. It would just keep doing that, those weird cuts. And like there was parts where King Hodder was doing his killing and like when that was happening, that was actually pretty cool. Like when he was killing the girls, it looked pretty good and stuff. But
oh
then
yeah,
they
he's
would
good
like,
at it.
yeah, he is good at it. He's had some practice. Uh, but then like it would show it for just a moment, and then again it would like cut out like to outside, like showing the lake or something, and then it would go back to him continuing killing. But then it would do it for like just like a split second, then it'd go back to the lake, showing nothing. And I'm like, it made no sense. What are you doing? That cinematography just made no sense. It was so bizarre. So yeah, awful movie. And speaking of awful movies, but this one was actually pretty good. Was or at least I thought it was the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. I know it's older. We already talked about it. I'm pretty sure, but
Who
Scream
gives a shit?
Factory. Yeah, Scream Factory is actually putting out a steelbook for it, which is kind of weird. I thought
A
a lot
little
of people
bit.
aren't. A lot of people aren't liking it because I know a lot of people don't like the movie. I've
I
seen
was
more hate.
disappointed in it. I just wanted it to be more storyline than it was. It was still a great slasher film. I mean, it was worth
Yeah.
watching. I'll watch it again. I went with the wrong mindset. I wanted more,
Mm.
but that's the only reason I didn't like it. But for other than that, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think I know they're making a sequel, um, and I'm looking forward to it. But I bought that fancy umbrella release, and I'm kind of annoyed I didn't just look like waiting by the cheaper Scream Factory one. But I mean, it is cool looking because it's got like the Winnie the Pooh like children's book in it, but it's all like horror based. It's all
Yeah, it's a really
bloodied
cool
up.
setup.
It is neat. Um, so it's fine. Um, but yeah, Joey's got to take a big shit, so I think we're gonna call it quits.
I like how he kind of discreetly wanted to stop it. Casey's like, "Fuck that."
No, I'm actually I'm tired of talking. Yeah, like I said
Just
before the stream, my like I've got some like pain in the neck and jaw and stuff, and it is bugging me a little bit, especially when I laugh and stuff. So I'm
Oh
definitely
yeah,
tired of
sorry about
talking.
that.
It's fine. It's fine. But
all right.
so yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, been good. And if anybody wants to check us out, we're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, OnlyFans, Pornhub. We're all over the place.
Soon we'll be on there soon.
We'll be on there soon. All right. Well, on behalf of Nate, thanks for watching. Catchphrase.
Catchphrase.